Hello students, previous session we discussed regarding positive liberty as well as negative aspect of liberty. Now we'll discuss regarding the different definitions cited by different thinkers regarding the term liberty. Liberty is the opposite of over government. Liberty is the freedom of an individual to express without external hindrance to personality. Then, on the basis of the definition cited by the different political thinkers, we can characterize the features of the liberty. Liberty implies the presence of certain conditions which are essential for the development of individual personality. Then, it believes that all without any distinction on any ground entitled to get all the privileges. Then, when there is an opportunity to enjoy rights, liberty compels citizens to perform their duties. It means that rights and duties correlated with each other. Right of a one person is the duty of the other person. Liberty and law are closely related, and law promotes the enjoyment of liberty by all. Liberty is against the authoritarian, dictatorial, and autocratic government. Then, after discussing the meaning, the definition cited by the different thinkers, there are different kinds of liberty. First of all, the liberty classified into natural, civil, economic, political, and national. So, coming to the first one, natural liberty denotes that man is the state of nature was completely free, that is, pre civil society. There were no restraints on his actions and the behavior. As a result, there was no peace and harmony in society. It was full of confusion and chaos. To control such unrestrained behavior of a man, to bring peace, gradually state come into existence. So, natural liberty itself gave the way for the origin of the state. So, all are entitled to exercise natural liberty because it is the gift of the nature. Then coming to the second liberty, that is the civil liberty. Civil or personal liberty, it consists certain rights and privileges created and protected by the state. So, whereas in case of the natural liberty gifted by nature, so whereas in case of civil liberty created and protected by the state, this is provided to every individual in society to lead a civilized life. It opposed to natural liberty. So it is opposed to the natural liberty means the origin differs, whereas in case of the origin relating to the natural liberty gifted by the nature, so whereas in case of the civil liberty created by state and protected by the state, civil liberty is enjoyed by individuals in the form of so different types of civil liberty, that is right to live, freedom of action and movement, right to property, equality before law, freedom of speech and expression, right to get education. These rights are available to all the people without any discrimination. All are entitled to exercise all these rights because the state only created these rights. When the state creates the rights, all are whoever are the member of the state, they are having the right to exercise all these rights. All these means all civil rights, including resident. Certain limitations are imposed upon this liberty by law. When the state creates civil rights, in the same way, civil liberty, in the same way, the state is also having the power to restrict civil liberty by casting certain limitations and restriction. Then coming to the political liberty is available only to a citizen of a state. It is available to only a member of a state. An individual enjoys this is in the capacity as a citizen. This political liberty can be enjoyed by only a member of the state because as a citizen he is exercising this right. As a member of a state, he has the right to elect and control the government. So, the political liberty stands for or vest the privilege in the hands of the member of a state to take part in the administration, as well as to cast the vote, as well as to contest for the election relating to the state administration. He is having the power to take part. This liberty is available only in a democratic state, where we can exercise this right or liberty only in a democratic. Because whereas in case of the democratic form of the government, we only form the government, we are having the right to choose our representative as well as to form the government. But whereas in case of the dictatorial form of the government, we are having no right to take part the in respect of administration, because dictatorial itself reveal arbitrary rule by one person, rule by party according to his own way. That is not there in case of the political liberty. Political liberty stands for vesting the privilege in the hands of the people of a state to take part in the administration as well as take part in the election. This liberty can be exercised only in a democratic state where citizens participate in a political activities. This is done with the help of universal franchise, that is the right to vote, where all citizens elect their representatives to form the government of their choice. Political liberty is enjoyed by people in the form of political right. Then coming to the economic liberty means security and the opportunity to find the earning of one's daily bread. So here this liberty vests in the hands of the individual to get his livelihood or providing minimum standard of living. All are entitled to get the proper wage. Individual should be free from constant fear of unemployment, underemployment and starvation. So all are entitled to get the basic requirements. State has to provide to all the citizens adequate means of livelihood. So this liberty casts certain obligations on the part of the state. It is the duty of the state to provide all its citizens adequate means of livelihood. That means by creating the employment opportunities, by providing other sources, with that they can get the livelihood. So that way it implies democracy in industry, that is the absence of this liberty, worker has to work at the behest of others. This is secured through the economic rights. Like then national liberty, coming to the last one, national liberty means political independence. It denotes the supreme power of the state. All other kinds of liberties depend on the national liberty. So all other liberty, that means whether it is a social liberty, economic liberty, political liberty, all liberties are dependent on this liberty. If a country is under the control of some foreign power, it cannot grant other liberties, because the state is having no power to grant, to create, to protect the liberty. Because when the state is free, then only the state can provide the liberty. If the state is under the control of some other state, how the state can protect the interest of its members? State can't take that opportunity. So here, for that purpose, for example, before 1947, people of India did not enjoy political liberty, but only after the attainment of national independence, people are truly enjoying other liberties. National liberty is the foundation of civil, political, and economic liberties. So, these all are the different types of liberty. Then, coming to the other concept, that is equality. Equality is an important pillar of the democracy. Another important political concept, that is the equality. So, in a political science, the equality means individuals should be given adequate opportunity for self development. So whereas in case of the political science, the term equality implies providing the equal opportunities to all the people. It means that absence of any special privilege in favor of any person. It means that all are entitled to get all the facilities granted by the state without any discrimination. So no special privileges are given to any class, any caste or group. No special privilege granted on account of any of the matter. All are treated equally. The state treats all persons equally without making any discrimination on any ground. There should be not any discrimination among the people before law. Hence, equality is a leveling process. We can say that it is a leveling process. Then, equality like liberty, complex term to define. Both are having its own significance. Different scholars have assigned a different meaning to it. The popular meaning of the term equality is used for identical treatment and identical rewards, that is, all men are equal and all should be entitled to identical treatment and rewards. So this way here, whereas in case of the popular meaning, the real meaning of the equality stands for all are equal, all are identical, all are entitled to get all the privileges. It means nature itself has created all men are equal. However, this is not correct. So here the nature itself has made some discrimination. So on the base of the color, on the base of their knowledge. So that is apart, because nature itself has not created all men equally. Some are tall, strong, fair in complexion, intelligent, bright. Others are short, weak, dark, brown and dull. Therefore, absolute equality is not at all possible. Some says that though the equality brings the leveling process, it brings the equal treatment, but the nature itself has created the inequality. How we can make that, how we can remove that concept? So, social inequality existed from the time of the Plato and Aristotle, that is, from the ancient time to the medieval period to the modern age. The rich and the noble classes dominated the social life and society. To remove the social inequality and injustice, the concept of equality was formulated. So, even though the nature has created the inequality, but since from long time, ancient time as well as the medieval as well as the present state of the condition, somehow that concept was existed on ground of social inequality. So many movements and wars fought and led to remove this type of the inequality existed in the society. So the Renaissance and the Reformation movements in Europe challenged the dominance of the feudal noble. The American Declaration of the Independence of 1776, the French Revolution of 1789 helped the cause of equality. So these all are the factors responsible for removal of social inequality existed since from long time. The above movements emphasized equality as a positive condition to provide equal opportunities to all. Now, liberty and the equality has become the watchword of modern democracy. Then, in brief, equality means provision of equal opportunities to all and absence of special privileges and facilities. No discrimination is made on the basis of caste, color, class, creed, gender, education, etc. So, this way, the in or the other way, the concept of the equality stands for treating all persons equally, or it is a process, level making process, we can say. But the some definitions cited by the thinkers in their words, equality means absence of all privileges, not only one privileges, absence of all privileges, whichever is very essential for leading a good life as well as the development of the personality requires. All are entitled to avail all the privileges as well as adequate opportunities for all. Or it is kept open, the state has kept open, whoever is interested they can avail the opportunity, they can develop their own personality. So there is no denial of any of the opportunity. So that means that is the meaning of the equality. Then according to the French Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, declared all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and the rights. To the extent earlier, the ancient modern political thinkers have denied the very existence of the equality is not possible because some man tall and all. But to that effect, the French Declaration of the Right itself has cleared that all men, irrespective of any of the differentiation, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and right. All are entitled to get equal treatment from the state organization in respect of any of the distinction existed since from the long time. whether the nature itself has created, in spite of that also, all are entitled to get the equal privileges. But in the same way, the American Declaration of the Independence reads, all men are created equal. They are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. So that also laid down some properties, something, or they are created, all men are created equal, they are endowed by their creator. The God only has made that distinction, not it, those are man made. The creator itself has made certain discrimination, not discrimination, but certain unalienable rights that can't be transferable to any of the person. So that way here, the concept of the equality stands for treating or providing equitable opportunities to all the members of the state. So in the same way, the different kinds of the liberties has been classified, that is the natural liberty, the same way natural equality, civil equality, political equality, economic equality and social equality. So here the natural equality implies nature has created all men equally and all should be treated alike. So absolute equality cannot be found. If we look around, we find that men differ in their height, intelligence, physical capacity, complexion, but in their wider context, it implies that all men made and artificial inequalities should be removed. So whatever the nature has made the equality, that is good, because the nature creator has made, but artificial distinctions should be removed. So artificial means the state made distinction should be removed. That is the natural equality. Then coming to the civil equality, it implies that all are equal before law, entitled equal of protection and opportunities. All citizens, irrespective of their status, color, gender, class, have to be treated equally and no distinctions on any kind should be made. The right to civil equality is the basic principle of all modern democratic system. For example, equality in matters of life, education, forming, association, etc. Civil equality brings equal treatment to all the people to avail all the opportunities. In the same way, the political equality also ensures all are entitled to take part in the administration by casting their valuable vote without any discrimination on the ground of any ground, color, caste, creed, gender, education. The doors of power are kept open. The state's powers are kept open to all and all have enjoyed the similar political rights. That means all are entitled to enjoy all the political rights. It implies all citizens enjoy equality in matters of voting, contesting for election, criticize the government and hold public offices. So here this political equality brings people under the one roof. While casting the vote, all are entitled, but the age limit has laid down by the government. So with that, every person, whoever has attained the age of 18 years, is having the right to take part in the administration by casting his valuable vote. That is known as the one of the political equality. All are entitled to take part in the administration. Even all are entitled, irrespective of any class, any creed, any religion, they can contest for the election. Then they can hold the public office. If fulfill the necessary condition, they can hold the public office. Then economic equality, political equality becomes real when it is accompanied by economic equality. In modern times, economic equality has gained greater importance. It means removal of inequalities of wealth and no concentration of economic power in the hands of few. Basic needs and minimum wages to all are assured. Otherwise, small number of rich would exploit a large number of poor. So here, the economic equality removes all the distinctions between the rich and the poor. So this is also one kind of the leveling process. That means the taking the power from the rich class of the people and distributing the same in the hands of those who are not having. That means removal of concentration of the wealth in the hands of the few people and giving in the hands of those who have not having any of the power. So this way here the economic equality removes the class distinction by preventing the concentration of the wealth in the hands of the few people. So all are entitled to get all the natural resources from the state organization. Then all are entitled to get the minimum wages. Whatever they have rendered the service, they are liable for the wages. So the economic equality stands for getting the minimum wage for their service, or it also removes all kinds of the distinction, whether the beggar, whether the exploitation, any kind of the exploitation or the jamindari system. By removal of all the barriers, by removal of all the social evils, it brings economic equality in the state organization by treating all persons equally. This way it removes the class distinction, it removes the rich and the poor. Even the poor people can also become and join in the hands of the rich, availing all the sources. Then coming to the last one, social equality. Social equality stands for social and the economic equality are the basis of the democracy. Social equality means removal of inequality based on caste, religion, gender. It treats all the people equal without any discrimination. The ideology behind this is casteless and classless society, removal of caste system, untouchability, oppose social equality. The idea of equality is fundamentally a leveling process. It emphasizes civil, economic and political equality to all and to enjoy right and discharge duties for the development of individual and nation. So remaining, that is the right, we'll discuss in the next session.